Hi, this is part two of the post-retreat video that I wanted to just kind of expand on the topic that we started talking about last video. And this video will be sort of a continuation of that same topic, which is the topic of faith being the art of holding on to the truth despite our changing moods. Right, so that's C.S. Lewis quote. And one of the reasons why the retreat might feel kind of distant right now is because our feelings changed, and therefore, we think, oh, my faith is wavering because it doesn't feel as real anymore, or it doesn't feel right. So I try to, okay, maybe this will help. So again, I'm going to see if I can draw. Hopefully it will help. I just saw a picture of a steam train right before this. It's messy, but it's like a train, And you have this, yeah. So then here we think, well, my feelings changed. And then your faith is sort of or maybe we think of it as equivalent. I'm not sure if we think of it so sequentially like that. But the idea here is that feelings determine faith, or because my feelings my emotions have changed a little bit. So what am I going to tell you next? Is it that, no, faith has to come before feelings? Well, kind of, but it's not that simple. It's not really. It's actually something like this. And this is a drawing that I've seen a long time ago when I was an undergrad, or maybe it was right after I graduated. But instead of this kind of a thing, what needs to come in the beginning is fact. Okay, that's the driving engine. And then there is faith, and then there's feelings. Oops. Okay, so fact needs to be first. So faith needs to be based on facts, right? So we talked about this, like hold on to the facts. It's still a fact that Jesus walked the earth. It's still a fact that he claimed the things that he claimed, such as his authority to forgive sins. And it's still a fact that he called his own resurrection, and then he did it. It's still a fact that I am mortal, that my days are limited. Has that changed? No, that hasn't changed. It's still a fact that I'm more than my body, that I have a soul that longs for home. It's still a fact that we're guilty of the sins and the wrongs, all the questions that you answered yes to. Has that changed? No. So place your faith on those facts. And then the feelings, as you place your faith on those facts, the feelings can follow, right, at the end. By the way, it's really awesome when all these three things line up and it's sort of aligned. I mean, at the retreat, that's a very powerful experience, right? At the retreat, a lot of you had these three things lined up. So you had the whole train lined up, and you based on the facts, you felt certain things. I mean, you placed your faith, and you felt convicted of sins, felt deep gratitude toward God's forgiveness and grace, and you felt excited about God's invitation to come back home and join in his joy. It's great when all these things line up and your life becomes powerful. But that kind of experience is sometimes short-lived, and there's no guarantee that the feelings will actually follow. Especially your feelings, right? It may not follow, because feelings are often based on random things that are outside of your control. So the next slide is sort of like this, this might be some list of feelings that you might have felt since the retreat, bored, anxious, stressed, guilty, grateful, excited, encouraged, lonely, irritated, tired, confused, uneasy, apathetic, sad, happy, frustrated. So I don't know, maybe you can take a look at this and see which one you can relate to. If you can relate with the positive emotion words, that's great. Maybe you were able to hold on to those facts and remember them longer, and probably, most likely, a mixture of both, right? Now, the question is, why? Why did those feelings come about? Well, What are the reasons for the negative feelings especially? Well, because there was a test, right? And because of the weather, and because you remember there's an upcoming project that you didn't get started on. Maybe because you fell into the same old sin again, some problem with roommates, because you ate something wrong that morning. You know, some of these causes maybe you can control a little. You can control that some of it a little bit, but most of it, man, you have very little control over that. So the lesson is, feelings get easily affected by random events that simply happen to you. So do not make decisions based on your feelings, or else you will end up living a life that is pushed around by what just simply happens to you. So anyway, I want to leave you with this verse from 2 Timothy chapter 3. It says, "But as for you, continue in what you have learned and have firmly believed." Continue in what you have learned and have firmly believed. Amen. Let's do that. And remember to bring others into your spiritual journey. All right.